What's going on, guys? Jake Adams from Reef Builders, and I find myself in Dubai checking out the first private reef tank that I've seen here. My man Spy has a really nice reef tank that's got quite a diversity of corals, and we're gonna do a simple run and gun video showing off this tank. So, what's up, little man?
You want to do the tank?
You want to tell us about the tank, little dude?
Yeah, well, I just like the tank a lot, and
What's your favorite corals?
my favorite coral, it's over here, the Zoa.
The zoanthids? Very cool. Any others?
And the others, I like all of them.
All right, so Spy, tell us like kind of the basic information of your tank. How long has it been set up? What's the volume? And just kind of how you run it.
Okay, it's a 90-gallon tank, and the dimension is 3 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. This run, I run it. My philosophy is very simple. I don't do anything much on the tank. I leave it as is. It's very simple tank. I haven't done water change for who knows ages. I did run some problems with the tank. I had algae issues recently, and I managed to solve that with the use of fluconazole.
So just to clarify, you use fluconazole to treat bryopsis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I really like that you don't have any sand, you have a medium amount of rock, and you have this really cool floating arch up here. It really looks like you prioritize the aquascape to hold as many corals, am I right?
Yeah, for me, you know, like, for me, corals, I like, basically you should have a good rockwork structure so that when you put the corals easy, it looks nicer.
Very nice. So what lights are you using? Let's go over through some equipment.
G3 Pro Radion, very happy with this unit.
Very cool. So we got some radions for water, for lighting. It looks like we have a gyre pump for inside the tank. Is that the only one?
I've got only one.
Yeah, so you don't need that much flow and you don't have so much rock.
Not much, yes.
But you do have a return pump.
I do have, it's a C-shape pump. I don't remember the
I think I saw it was a Synchro like 5.0 or something.
Yeah.
And you have a really interesting overflow box here. Is this one of the new DDs?
No.
Did you make that yourself?
Yes.
And I see you have a pet chitin who likes to come out of the water.
Yes.
He's so cool. Do you have a name for him? Because he's really cool.
Really, I've got loads of them in the tank.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, let's take a look underneath the tank and see how it runs. You want to pop over that stand? I got to look at it earlier, and there's a lot of neat stuff underneath.
Nothing, very simple.
You know, it's simple to us as reef keepers, but you have a lot going on down here. So you do have a basic sump, just kind of an open plan.
Yeah.
What protein skimmer is that?
It's a Bubble Magus Curve 7.
Cool. It looks like a decent medium-sized filter. And in your drain, you kind of have like a restriction valve to kind of make it a little quieter.
Yeah.
Very neat. And is this a macroalgae reactor up here?
It is, yes.
And you can barely see it, but there's like very slim LED on there.
It's a freshwater LED. I had this normal, you know, the flexible LED. It didn't work for me, so I had this extra freshwater tank light, so I used that one.
So why is it not on right now?
It on opposite time.
Okay, so you're running the reverse daylight photosynthesis.
Yes.
Very cool. Let's see, what do we have? We got a little media reactor in there. What do you have inside of that?
It's activated carbon.
Activated carb. So we got some GAC. And do you use this NOPOX right here for
Yes.
carbon?
I do.
How much do you add to this tank?
5 ml to 9 ml.
Do you do that manually or automatically?
Manually. When I remember, I dose.
Yeah, see, I'm the same way about NOPOX. I don't want it dosed automatically. I want to dose it whenever I feel like it. What else are you adding to the tank? Looks like you're kind of committed to the Red Sea.
Red Sea.
And that's a Camler doser.
Mm-hmm.
And you're using that 3 channels to dose
The dosing is not very common. What I use here, first one is kalkwasser with vinegar. Second one is calcium and alkalinity. Magnesium I dose manually.
So tell me why you're adding vinegar to your kalkwasser. I kind of know the answer,
It's
but
carbon dose again.
So you're doing vinegar and NOPOX for your carbon?
Yes.
Very interesting. And this is actually a really cool thing that not most people know, that if you stuff all your electronics in one spot, they get really hot.
Yes.
And they will overheat and fail prematurely. So I love how you've put a fan on there just to cool the entire thing. Anything else you want to mention about your under tank filtration? We kind of flew by.
Not too much. Just a DIY. The box, we got filter pad inside.
It's like a little Rubbermaid tray.
Yes.
You got a couple of
them. It's like a shelf, you know, just buy it on the shop.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the socks, I don't like the salt creep that goes out of the sock, so I want it contained.
Very cool. You know, pretty simple tank. It looks amazing, really crystal clear. You didn't know we were coming, did you?
No.
Hey, you know what? Let's take a little look at the crowd here. We got Devron of BPK. What's up, Devron?
Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Hello.
We got Tony the Man Vargas. Came all the way from Cotter. Had a roundabout trip. And Vincent the Coral Farmer.
Hi, you guys.
And a couple reefers who are here early for tomorrow's event. What do you guys think of this reef tank so far?
Good. Very nice.
This is a good first reef tank to see. We are going to focus here on the main event, and that's the presentation of your corals. You really have this thing packed and visible on all three sides. There's even corals all the way around the back. But let me ask you, like, even from this angle, you can clearly see, let's trace spots real quick. We can clearly see that all the corals are clustered. How did you come up across like that technique for grouping your corals?
When you have a small tank, real estate is a problem. So you want to put as much, you want to pack as much coral as you want on a tank. So in order for me to have that, my vision of having the coral tank, so I want to group them together so they won't fight. So
Yeah.
like, for example, like microlords is just together.
Did you just say microlords?
The microlords.
Oh, God bless your soul. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Very cool. So we have a cluster of lords here. Some really interesting colors. Really like this one with kind of like the green rim. Here's got a little chalice alley and a bunch of zoanthids. I think you got a couple clusters of zoanthids.
Uh-huh.
Here's a bunch of shroons. Nice little mix here. And man, this arch that you have going on here is really radical. And you know what? You seem to have kind of a soft spot for the Montes, for the branching Montes.
That's correct. Originally, my plan was just to collect Montes, just branching Montes. And then one day I had a problem with Monty eating nudies. And I said,
no.
no, not a good idea. So then I started looking at some other corals like small acropoda, but still my love would be for Montipodas. This tank will be dedicated for Montes only.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So speaking of Montes, you have a coral that I've never seen before. It's a beautiful, thin, branching red Montipora. It's a little bit light, rusty red in this video, but you tell us that it does get like really red.
Yeah. For some people, they mistook this one as Setosa because Setosa is like bright orange.
Definitely not Setosa.
Yeah, it's not Setosa. But color probably would be on the same range, like
It gets
bright
as
orange,
bright as a
red.
Setosa?
Yeah, very bright.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to see
like
pictures
bright
of that.
red, bright orange. Yeah, depends on. Just on my tongue is not.
Yeah, you know, I don't have enough experience with it to say for sure whether it's a stellata or a hirsuta. Stellata would be like your typical elkhorn Monty. Hirsuta is what a little bit newer, called like Medusa hair or something. But yeah, that's a super duper cool coral to see, and I understand that you're kind of one of the originators of that strain locally. And they call that the red spy Monty. Is that the name?
It's a spy Monty.
Very cool.
So-
Let me trade with you again because there's another coral that everybody knows I love a lot, and that's the Hero turbinaria. What's the story on that one? How long have you had it?
I had it for some time. I would say it's a decent grower. So originally I had this, it was covered with algae and I have to frag it, so I have a small frag here on this side. And this is the colony. I just love turbinaria.
Me too.
Just love
Me
this one.
too. Very cool. What are some of the other corals that you want to point out?
Rhizotrocus maybe?
Yeah,
Rhizo,
you got a
collect
couple
them?
beautiful rhizos kind of tucked up underneath there.
I collect NPS, so like Dendrophilia, Rhizotrocus, I kind of collect them. And there's one NPS shroom at the back.
Oh yes, I saw the ball
Chocodactylus.
tentacle. The
Yeah.
ball tentacle anemone. I actually have one in my sump as well. That's a super neat little anemone.
Yeah, I like that one. It is being hosted by my clownfish.
Your clownfish goes in your ball tentacle?
Yes.
No
Yeah, it does. It's
way.
sleep there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Do you target feed your NPS or do you just kind of blast the whole tank?
I do. At least twice a week. This is fed manually. So
Manually.
at night time, switch off the pump, everything. I just feed them myces.
Very cool. And use like a baster or something?
Yeah, base there is.
Very nice, man. This is a cool, original, achievable tank. You know, this is an aspirational tank. Anybody could put something together like this with a lot of time spent placing corals. That's probably like the most work involved in here. Very cool, Spy. Well, thanks for having me over. Before I close it down, can you just tell me maybe just one piece of advice you'd like to share with people that you think really helps with your success in doing this tank?
My advice.
Getting out.
Getting algae out, yes. But for me, whatever you love the most, you don't listen to, you know, like stereotype, oh, this is how you do it. I do my own way. So dosing is completely different. People say, why do you dose like this? Well, it's like, that's how I want to do my reef. If you want your footprint on the sun, do it first. Don't follow others.
Very cool, man. Well, that's some great advice. This definitely is a very high bar for the rest of the tanks that we're going to see. And thanks a lot for your time, Spy. I'm sure that people are going to have a lot of questions about this tank, and really, really cool to see. Thanks for your time.
Anytime.
All right, later, buddy.